Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for this new video around my campaign Operation Dark Winter. Today we are doing mission number 10 and this is the board we are going to play on today. The goal is to retrieve some stolen GTF vehicles that has been stolen by the Rioters faction. The vehicles are located over here. There is two police cars and that Humvee. The goal of the mission is to secure that part of the board, enter in contact with the three vehicles and get away with them by driving them toward one of the exits. Most likely the closest one will be that one. This compound is, there is some fencing on that side, but there is one entry there, one entry there. You can also enter by here, but all the other entries are locked by some fence. Also, what else? Here we have three contaminated buildings. We have that one, we can't enter without a gas mask. We have that one, and we have that one too. We also have one supply crate located on the back over here. So this is a dead end. It's not an alley where you can spawn. So you can we can either spawn on this side, one, two, or three. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to roll that right away to see where I'm going to be deployed. 5, 6, so we are going to be deployed over here. So that's great. I'm going to deploy my model on that side of the board. And yeah, we can get started. So all my force has been set up. I just changed a few things regarding their weapon compared to the briefing video I did earlier this week. My models are deployed, ready to rock on the battlefield. I just moved the token that was here. It has been placed on the middle of the board. And yeah, we can get started. I have already the Fog of War card. One will go out in turn 1 right away, one in turn 5 and one in turn 6. So we'll do that first, and yeah, I think we are ready to start. Let's pick that first Fog of War card. New intel. Yep. Roll randomly to choose an enemy placement token and draw a card from the enemy force deck. Place this unit draw on the board. Well, that's cool. So that means that I will know the position of one of the tokens. So I will randomly select one of the tokens and I will draw the card with you. To randomly select the token, I divide the board in 4 different parts. So those 4 tiles will be 1, those 4 tiles will be 2, 3, and 4. So I'm rolling a dice. So it will be 4, it will be in one of those tiles. Same thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, it will be the token located on that tile. Where is it? Just below the truck. So I will unveil actually that token. So let's draw one card. And here actually we have nothing, so I can just right away remove that token. So that's it for that first Fog of War card. End of my movement phase, end of the turn actually, I move all my guys and I looted those 3 vehicles, one through the trunk and those one through the doors, and I found 2 fuel, so one for Jim Hopper and one from Zoe Clydewell. So that's it for that turn. We can move on turn 2. Start on turn 2. Before moving, actually, I have this token that I have in line of sight with my group of division agent and SWAT guys. So I'll do a detection roll. They are within 14 and 15 inches, so it's the last one. Let's roll for the elite. A 3, it doesn't detect that one. And for the 2 professional, I need a 5 and a 6. So we detect that one with the 6. Let's draw one card. And it's empty again, so that's cool. That means that I can advance safely on that side. I have one token over here that I need to be careful. So yeah, let's do the movement phase. So I just moved my team over here and they detected 2 enemy assaulters on that side, looking roughly in their direction. The enemy didn't detect them yet, but yeah, let's see what I'm going to do for the rest of my movement phase. So I just pack my guys together and yeah, we'll see what the enemy do. If they move toward me, I will do a second detection roll to see if they detect my team. If not, I won't engage them right away. I will wait for another turn. So yeah, let's do the movement phase for all the enemies. I just start right away with that one to see if it is moving in my direction. So let's do that one together. And actually, no, they are looking at the opposite direction. So that's great. Just turning them around. So we are safe for that. Now let's move all the placement token. I can jump on turn 3. End of turn 3, that's the position of my models. I will move all the enemy tokens. If nothing enter line of sight, I'm going to loot that truck plus that vehicle over here with those two guys. And yeah, nothing too fancy. Let's jump onto the enemy movement phase, and if nothing crazy happen, we'll jump onto turn 4. Actually, something did happen. This token here that was hidden behind the bus just moved in line of sight of my group. So I'm going to draw one card. Okay, perfect. So it's one civilian. Going to pick one civilian over here and place him on the board. And actually, that's great. I will try to convince him to join me because I really need more civilian in my base. Looking at which model have the better common stat. I think it's Dog Sutton, my agent of the division. He have a common stat of 5, and he's actually right here. So next turn, yeah, probably too short to do that in one turn actually, but I will try to enter base contact with him and try to yeah, convince him to join me. So that's it for now. Yeah. All enemies have moved. Let's jump onto turn 4. Yeah, actually, before that, just doing the roll for the resources for the truck and the pickup. So, first one, a 3 and a 3, nothing found. Second one, a 6 and a 4, a 6 and a 4. Again, 1 fuel, so a lot of fuel this turn. So, yeah, we found that on the pickup. So, it's again for Jim Hopper. He found a second fuel. So yeah, let's jump now on turn 4. So turn 4, I just move my guys too far to enter a base contact with the civilian, so we'll check that next turn. Two guys enter the Starbucks coffee, no one inside. They will try to loot. They can find one resource in the bar area and also one resource on the back. So we'll check that when they enter base contact with that. And yeah, that's the end of my movement phase. Let's jump onto the enemy movement phase. So I'm not sure if the enemy heard something, but those two guys that they just move in the back of the alley where my model have entered the Starbucks. So for the next turn, I will just need to do a tactical move so they don't hear me. Also, there is second token that move from the back over here. They also move toward my direction, so maybe they heard me entering the Starbucks coffee and they just want to check what is going on. And yeah, nothing else. Jumping on turn 4. Jumping on turn 5. Yeah, jumping on turn 5. And actually turn 5 we have a new Fog of War card. Clear. Nothing happened on that turn, so perfect, we can now jump onto the movement phase. End of my movement. What I will do first is do the command test to see if that civilian join my force, and on a 6 he won't, so on a 2 that's fine. That means that this guy is now following me. I can move it like any of my model and I will need to extract him at the end of the mission so he can join my force. So that's pretty much it. Those two guys did a tactical move so they won't be heard. And yeah, we have people yeah, just looking at different direction. We have one enemy token there, we have one enemy token there, so let's check the movement of the enemy and see what happened. So the enemy team on the back just roll, they just roll in the opposite direction, so they just came back where they came from, so that means that I can loot safely over here, the bar area. A 5 and a 1, I think it's nothing. Yeah, 5 and 1, it's nothing. So nothing in the bar area. I still have the back where I can find maybe something. So that's end of turn 5. Now we can jump on turn 6. And turn 6, we already have a new Fog of War card. Unknown movement, remove one card from the enemy force deck and remove randomly one placement token. So that's cool. Let's roll to define the token I will remove. Same thing, I will give number to different part of the board. So same number as before, 6, 5 and 6 I will reroll. So 1, 2, 3, it will be on that part. Then 1, 2, 3, nothing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and actually I just have one token, so I'm going to remove that token from the board. So one less enemy to deal with, and I'm going to remove that card. And it's an enemy, so that's great. Less enemy to deal with. So that's cool. End of... no, it's the start of turn 6. No more Fog of War card, so no more surprise. Yeah, let's jump onto my movement. End of my movement, the SWAT guy, Jim Street here, did a sprint, so he won't be able to fire. My 2 division agents take position to take care of that token. Here the civilian will loot that vehicle, the civilian like Zoe will loot that vehicle, and here the civilian is just following my guys. I will leave that guy on the back so they can't be seen by some enemies on that part. I will loot the interior, and also Francis here is just making security in case someone enter by that door. And let's actually check if we have line of sight on that token. So here we definitely have line of sight with my agent of the division. So he can detect, he's a professional, he can detect on 5+, so he doesn't detect that turn. So that's the end of my movement. Now let's jump onto the enemy movement, and after that I will try to loot the police car and the back of the Starbuck. End of the enemy movement, the token here just move more on the back, so I don't even see it anymore. Nothing too crazy over here, this group didn't move. So let's roll to define if I found something. So for the police car, it's just a standard roll. On a 4, 5, 6 I found something, so nothing found on that car. And now resource on the back of the Starbuck. Oh, a 6 and a 2, I found something, so 6 and 2 it's some ammo. Ammo is a 3. So we'll take 1 dice, and it's the police officer Alex Murphy that found an ammo that I will place on his card. So that's the end of turn 6. All the enemy moved. Now jumping on to turn 7. Turn 7, my 3 guys with silence weapon are advancing toward that token because I really want to deal with that one before it come back on my back. So let's check what this token will be doing. Actually rolling the dice over here. And he's not moving, damn. So he's not moving. Let's check what the enemy token will do, and we can jump on to next turn. So finally, my next turn, my guys moved and enter line of sight with that token. So we can now unveil what is that token. Oops, sorry. It's 1 civilian. Okay, so all that were just for 1 civilian trying to flee the conflict. So actually that's great. I will also try to convince that civilian to join me. Pretty cool civilian from Not So Board Games. But yeah, not that much enemy for now. So that's the end of my movement. Here it's finished. Here they're just waiting for the rest of the team to stack up. And yeah, let's jump onto the next turn. The enemy movement phase, and then the next turn. Okay, so end of my movement. Here I enter contact with that civilian. So on the 6, he won't join me. So on the 4, that's fine. This other civilian is now following me and will join my base if I manage to extract her. Zoe have entered that building to try to loot some resource. So let's see if she finds something. So 6 and a 1, that's some medicine. Medicine is a 5. So Zoe find some medicine, that's cool. Here we have Ryan Marquez. He just moved up the stairs. He will enter that building. It's a contaminated building, but he's equipped with a gas mask that allows him to enter the building, and it's a guarantee loot inside, so we'll automatically find a resource and we'll define what that resource is after. And here we'll come back to this part of the street, trying to take care of, we have one enemy token over here, plus one hidden there, so yeah, we'll see if we can handle one after the other. Maybe wait a couple of turns to see where they are moving, if they can move away from each other. And yeah, we have the enemy group that have moved toward the fence, and yeah, that's the end of that turn. Let's jump onto the next turn. So here Ryan just entered that building and take line of sight on that token. Is within 10, so he detect on a 3+. So he detect that token. Let's draw one card and two more civilian. That's crazy. So two more civilian, those two over here. So two more civilian in the streets. So yeah, don't have a lot of enemy toward that part of the board. Guess they are all patrolling on the other side. And yeah, that's the end of my movement. Now let's check the enemy movement turn. On the enemy movement turn, the token that was hidden here just moved back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I will just take all my guys, move toward the civilian that are in the middle, trying also to convince them to join me. And yeah, my goal, yeah, I still don't exactly know what my plan is, but let's first advance in the streets, and yeah, we'll see how it ends up. End of my movement phase. So here we have Doug Sutton, my agent of the division, did a run, so he can't interact with the civilian. He will try to do that next turn. And yeah, the rest of my group is advancing. I will loot the back of the truck, the bus, and those two guys also did move on the left. Yeah, probably what I'm going to do is advance on this alley over here with my silence weapon, taking care of those two guys. Maybe one of them can be killed through the fence over here. We'll see how it ends up. But first, let's do a roll for the truck. The truck is a military vehicle, so on a 456 I found an equipment, and let's check the quality. On a 6 it's a superior quality, so it's not, it's a standard card. Oh cool, medical stuff. So steam shot, remove stun effect on injured model, can only be used during the tactical action phase. After use, injured model can move up to 3 inches. So that's cool. And who found that? It's Jim Hopper, and he actually doesn't have any equipment, so I will give him the steam shot. And now let's check for the bus, the school bus over here. A 3 and a 4, I might find something. Yeah, 3 and a 4, it's some ammo again. Ammo is a 3, so some ammo, a 3 for Louis Alexander. Great, so that's the end of the movement. Now let's check the enemy movement. We can do together the little group on the back. So they move 2 inches toward the wall, and actually they will follow the wall over here. So they don't have line of sight on me. They are pretty close, but they can't see me, so that's fine. And let's check also what this token will do. Okay, no, nothing, so we won't move. And yeah, we'll move the other token and we can jump onto the next turn. End of my movement. So Jim Hopper will try to convince that civilian to join him, and Doug Sutton will try to convince the second one. And yeah, let's do that first. So they both have a command of 5, right? Jim Hopper 5 and Doug Sutton 5, so I just don't need some 6. So I convinced the 2 of them, so that's perfect. The 2 civilians now follow me, so we just basically hired, convinced 4 civilians in that mission, so that's cool. Yeah, maybe I need to leave them a bit away from the a gunfight that will happen at some point, but yeah, we'll see. That's the end of my movement phase. Now let's check what the enemy will do, and I will start with that token over here, and we can do that together. So he's not moving, and for the two over here, so they are moving 1 inch, they are just switching direction. So yeah, let's do that for the rest of the token, and we can jump on to next turn. New turn, end of my movement phase. So I started to advance on this alley over here. Here Zoe is taking care of all the civilian. Jim Hopper is waiting in case that token do a U-turn and come in their direction. And let's do that together for that token. Oh my god, actually, yep, they go right in front of me. They are going roughly in that direction, but since there is the wall, they will just follow that wall and they will move 6 inches. So that means they will just arrive in front of Hopper. So yeah, let's see what this card is. No way, it's some civilian again. Seriously, I wanted to start a gunfight. Like, I was ready, I just have my Mossberg here, he was ready to just kick him right in the face, like in really close combat. Damn. Okay, I did not expect that. So 3 more civilian. So that's funny how those cards can really change like everything. Like it's, yep, just trying to place the civilian. So yeah, 3 more civilian on the battlefield. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess that's so Hopper doesn't need to shoot, he can actually try to convince someone to join him. He will do a roll, and actually he convinced that first civilian to join him, so we have now 5 civilian that will join our base. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, let's jump on to the next turn. So new turn, I'm moving my group over here in the alley to try to engage with that enemy group. This group here didn't move. Hopper moved to try to convince the last civilian, the civilian in the back, and Ryan here will try to convince the first one. So let's do for Ryan, command test on 4, so it's failed on a 5-6. So he convinced him for Hopper, and Hopper actually missed the command test, so the last civilian here will just run away, but this one is joining me. So that's cool. Yeah, now let's check what the enemy will do, and I'm just going to grab my dice and let's check what this group will do. If they advance, I will need to engage them right away. And they don't advance, they move 2 inches in that direction. So they still don't see me, so that's fine. And yeah, let's move the token. So we have still 1 token over here. Let's see what this one will do. Not moving. And yeah, let's do the rest and move to the next turn. So nothing happened really fancy regarding the enemy. Start of my next turn, I will take Zoe and I'm grabbing all the civilian and I'm going to extract the board with her and all the civilian. Because there is a lot of them, and yeah, let's jump onto the rest of the movement phase. So here Jim and Ryan are just waiting for the civilian to move out of the street, but here something is about to happen. So my 3 guys here just moved to enter line of sight of that enemy, same for my 2 guys over here. So this group is now alerted. Let's check what they are doing. So 2 dice, Sublime Doctrine by Nivan Nylander. So a 4 and a 1, black dice, a 4, a 1, careful, move and shoot, careful, it's maximize use of cover, but right now they don't have a lot of cover, so what they will try to do is just take cover from this guy behind the dumpster, so they will just like move there. Actually they don't know about these enemies. They just saw those two guys entering line of sight, so they just try to take cover behind the dumpsters. So yeah, that's the end of their movement. Let's check actually some of the other movements. For example, that token over here. Okay, so moving 3 inches, he will move roughly behind the MV. So he's just behind the NV. And we have one in the alley over here. What this one will do, he's not moving. So I will rest, film the rest, I will do the rest, and now we can jump onto the action phase. So, combat phase, let's actually start with, I will start maybe with Alex Murphy over here. He's equipped with the Banshee MK17. He can fire 3 shots in automatic, so I will do that. So 3 shots in automatic. 6, 3, and 2. You have a shooting stat of 3. So let's take my defense roll. So the 6, there is no way the enemy can beat that. For the 3, that's basically 3 plus 3 of his shooting, that's a 6. -1 because of the automatic, -2 because of the dumpsters. So basically that's a 3. Rolling defense on that 3. 1. Okay, so that's a fail. The enemy failed the defense. So the first shot hits him, the second shot kills him. So this enemy here is killed. No more ammo on my Banshee, but he gained 1 kill. Second shot will be from Doc Sutton, my agent of the division, which is on the back over here. He's firing with the Mark IV Tactical, the Ruger pistol. It's within 6 inches. So let's do a standard... No, let's do a rapid fire. So yeah, let's do the 2 shots with the tactical pistol Ruger thing. So a 4 and a 3. You have a shooting of 6. So that's 6, that's a 10. No way the enemy can beat that. And that's 9. Also no way the enemy can beat that, even with the -1 of the rapid fire. And actually there is a +1 because of compact. And so yeah, it's automatically a kill. So this enemy is dead too. And that's the first kill for Doug Sutton. Yep. So that's the end of the combat phase. Yeah, right. That's the end of the combat phase. Let's jump on to the next turn. So end of the movement. Here, Alex Murphy moved and reloaded his rifle. Here, this guy just sprint, but let's say is stay in cover at the corner. The 2 guys here move to loot the 2 vehicles. Here, my SWAT guy and division agent move to start to go toward the objective and kill the enemy toward there. And the civilian, Louis Alexander, moved to loot the dead bodies. So let's do the movement for the enemies. Where are my dice? So here we have a first token behind the truck. So this token is moving 1 inch, so they still don't see me, but they are advancing toward me. What else? We have 1 token on the alley. He's moving 3 inches on the back, no, so not toward me. 1 token there, not moving, and I will do the rest and jump onto my movement phase. So before jumping onto the next turn, actually I will loot first that civilian vehicle over here. So 6 and a 1, a 6 and a 1, some new medicine, a 5 for Jim Hopper, and Jim Hopper reached the max number of resources he can carry. He has an agility of 3, so he can carry only 3 resources. Let's check now. Ryan Marquez is looting a military vehicle, so it's a standard dice, so that's the tough one. Let's reroll that one. On a 4, 5, 6, he found something. He found something, checking the quality, 5, standard quality, it's a vehicle, so it's an equipment. A backpack, okay, cool. Where is he's over here? So yeah, let's give him the backpack. So that's cool. Now for the dead body over here, same thing. On the 4, 5, 6, I found something, so nothing found on that dead body. I can remove that enemy from the board. And yeah, I am too far to loot the MV, but I can loot the trunk of the police car. Same thing, 4, 5, 6, I found something, and it's standard quality. It's also an equipment. Ooh, a smoke grenade. That's cool. So where is my SWAT guy? You already have a stun grenade. Yeah, I will still giving the smoke, and next turn I will give that smoke to someone else. But yeah, that's great. So that's the end of that turn. Let's jump on to the next turn. Okay, so slight change of plan. My two guys here came back looking down the alley. They want to engage that token, so I'm waiting to see where he moves, and next turn I will try to engage with all my silence weapon. So yeah, everyone is on hold. I will just loot that dead body over here, and here we have Zoe that is escaping the board with the group of civilians we rescued. So yeah, let's check together what this enemy will do. My dice are here. So for that token, and he actually moved 2 inches, again probably toward the front of the MV. And yeah, let's move all the other tokens and jump onto and loot that dead body. Actually, we can loot that dead body right away because nothing will happen on that side. So on the 4, 5, 6, it's something, but it's a 3. So nothing here. Let's move the token and jump onto the next turn. So, start of next turn, Zoe just move closer to the exit. Next turn they will all escape. And here I am just waiting for that token to move in my line of sight to engage it with all my silence weapon. Yeah, that's it. And here Louis Alexander just moved back, waiting for the stuff to happen in the street. So now let's do together the roll for that token. And it actually doesn't move, so I will need to look for him. Let's actually check that token. Maybe this one will move toward me. And no, he's moving 2 inches in that direction. And we just have one token over here that can come closer to me. And again, is 5 inches, so he's just doing some back and forth in this alley over here. So 5 inches roughly there. So moving all the other tokens so we can jump onto the next turn. So things start to get serious. I just move all my guys toward that single token. So now let's unveil it and see what we are dealing with. Finally, some enemy level 1. Level 1. Taking my table, rolling a simple dice, a 6, oh, 2 assaulter and a tank or a sniper. 1, 2, 3, it's a tank, 4, 5, 6, it's a sniper. And it's a 1, a tank. Okay, so let's place them on the board, just checking the direction they are facing. So they are facing, so they saw me, they are alerted. So yeah, let's place them on the board. So that's the enemy group that just spawned. 2 pistol plus 1 tank in the middle with an LMG. So I'm going to right away engage the tank, which is the most dangerous threat. So first thing I'm going to... yeah, actually I have... Yeah, first I'm going to fire with my Ruger tactical pistol with my division agent. It's doing a rapid fire. So you have a shooting stat of 6. You have a shooting stat of 6. So here we have a 10 plus 2 because of contact plus red dot, but minus 1 because of the rapid fire, so plus 1. So we have an 11. But basically that's automatically a hit. Just going to check the rules for the heavy body armor. So yeah, the tank is equipped with a heavy body armor, which means that all successful lethality roll, it's first a -1 to lethality roll, and successful lethality roll must be re-rolled. So basically, the Ruger Tactical is lethal on 6. So let's check lethality. So for the first, for the 2, oh, I have 1-6. I need to re-roll that one. And it's not lethal. But that still means that I have the 2 bullets that touch him. The first one injured him and the second one killed him. I still have that, right? Yeah, that's still automatically a kill. So the tank is already dead with my first 2 shots, because the first 2 shots doesn't kill him, but the first shot wound him, the second shot automatically kill him. So next shot is Ryan that will fire at one of the riflemen. He's equipped with the PP2000. He will do automatic fire, a 6, a 4. He have a shooting stat of 4, so basically that's 6. So that's an 11, the enemy can't beat that, and that's a 9, the enemy also can't beat that, so the first shot touch him, the second shot kill him, so this one is automatically killed too, so 1 shot for him, and finally the last one I will make Jim Street fire with his AKM. Actually here we fire in automatic, so only 2 bullets left. Jim Street will fire with his AKM, 2 bullets in rapid fire, 6 and 5, also same thing, the enemy can't beat that, so really lucky freeze the shooting roll for now, so that's 3 kills there. And actually Jim Street just received 5 kills and receive a new stat point, a 2 hits point in agility. So that's it for the combat phase. Yeah, we can jump onto the next turn. So, new turn. I just move my guys right in front of all the different tokens. And actually, before ending my movement and tactical action phase, I will unveil those two tokens over here. So first one, this one, second one, that one. So let's see what we are facing. Empty for the first one. Level 3 enemy for the second one. So that's the enemy leader, which makes sense. He's within the that part of the board, which is where we have the objective, the vehicle. So let's check which direction this... So this one is empty. Let's check just which direction this token is facing. So he's not facing me. Actually, that's great. So here the enemy is facing toward the red car. So he doesn't see me. I don't need to engage him right away. So, yeah, let's, do I need to do some tactical action? That's the great question. Let me put some thoughts on that, place the enemy group and see what we are doing. Actually, just going to do with you the role to define the level 3 enemy, and it's a 5. 1 leader, 2 assaulter and 1 heavy weapon. So let's place that on the board. So that's the group of enemy that just spawned. So now let's check actually the movement of each of the enemy tokens that are in this area, starting with the enemy group that we just unveiled. So he's just moving 2 inches in the opposite direction. That's great. They don't go toward me. So let's move them 2 inches in that direction. The leader is the guy, the woman with the baseball bat. Now for the second token over here, same thing, 2 inches not in my direction. And yeah, I still have one over here. Let's check that one. Yep. So 6 inches towards taxi, and we have one there and 3 inches on the back toward here. So actually that's great. That buy me some time, so I won't need to fire that turn. I will reload my weapon and actually we'll loot some of the dead bodies on the back. So yeah, let's do that and jump onto the next turn. Francis Valenzuela here on the back looted it's basically the same model with the pistol. He looted Francis. He find a weapon, so let's draw the weapon together. Oh, cool, a new silence pistol. So that's cool. I needed some more silence weapon in that team. So that's great. Yeah, I will just place that on the side to use it later for a mission briefing. So here I just looted that dead body. So now let's jump onto the next turn. And by the way, on the back here we have Louis Alexander that is a bit alone. I completely forget about him, and he's just waiting for the stuff to happen on the parking lot over here to engage what he can see. So yeah, let's jump onto the next turn. So what happened that movement phase? So one of my division agent deploy his combat drone, striker drone, that will fire, that will basically add one extra model. What I will do also is throw a flashbang on that token. I will try to kill all the 4 models over here, but in case here we have some more enemy, the flashbang will help a bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just basically advance all my force toward the enemies, throwing the flashbang over here. Let's do the roll for that. So it's Jim Street. He have a shooting of 5. 5 plus 6, that's perfect. The grenade land exactly where I want. That means that it's done. What's there? Let's checking what's there, and it's actually some enemy. So level 1 enemy. Checking what it is. Oh, it's a 6 again. So 2 assaulter plus 1 sniper. That's not good, because that means that 1 sniper just spawn at the edge of that building. So we have 2 assaulter here that will be stunned, but 1 sniper over here that won't be stunned. So yeah, let's place that on the board first. So I just rolled that direction they are facing. So this group is facing that direction. Same for the civilian. So she was basically looking down the alley, but yeah, she doesn't see any of my guy, and the Francis here behind the MV is not seen either. So this guy are stunned. Now basically the alert is raised on that part of the board. Yeah, let's check now what this group will do. For that I'm going to use the Zablan doctrine. A 2 and a 1, a 2 and a 1, a 2 and a 1, rush, move and shoot. Okay, move and shoot. So move and shoot. So basically, wait one. It's rush, so as flank but shortest path toward the enemy. So they basically just turn around and rush in my direction. So they just going in my direction. Actually, I forget about that, but there is one model with a melee weapon, and that model, the leader will try to move into a base contact, and she actually can enter base contact with my division agent. So she will just move right in front of me and enter melee fight with my division guy. So that's the end of the movement, I guess. So that's, yeah, those guys are stunned, they can't do anything that turn. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the movement. Now let's jump onto the combat phase. Doing the melee combat first. Rioter have a melee stat of 2, my division agent have a melee stat of 5. So the Rioter have +1 because she's starting the melee fight. So 4 + 1, that's a 5, 6, 7. So she have a 7. Now rolling defense for rolling melee for Doug Sutton. So 3 + 5, 6, 7, 3. That's an 8. That means that I win the melee fight, and I I win the melee fight, and I can choose what I want to do with her. and I can take her prisoner, but I have too many things to handle at the moment, 2 other stuff, so I will just kill her right away. So that's it for the for that. Now what else? There is a lot of gunfight that is about to happen. So yeah, what I will do that off screen and show you what happened. So basically, Louis Alexander on the back will fire at the most dangerous one, which is the one with the carbine. All my guys will fire at the rest of the enemies, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so end of the combat phase, not really a big surprise, but everyone is killed. I started with Louis Alexander here on the back. He missed all his 2 shots in rapid fire, and then basically all my guys fire at the end of the fire. For all my guys, only one guy remained. It was this guy. He was injured with just a 2 on the wound table, and then I kick up the drone, and the drone finished him. So all the people over here are killed. In some of my weapons I don't have any more ammunition, and yeah, that's the end of the combat phase. Now the alert is raised because I fire with some unsuppressed weapon like the shotgun, the drone, Francis here, and I don't remember his name, but the 2 civilian here doesn't have any suppressor. So yeah, now the alert is raised. Next turn it's going to be a bit more challenging. So that's the end of that turn. Now let's move on to the next turn. New turn, end of my movement phase. So here I send my drone to toward those 2 tokens. We have 1 token over here, and what else? My civilian here move on the back of the police car. 2 of my guys here move to start engage what will happen over here. The 3 guys over here move toward that token. Also, my police officer on the back of the gray car will switch to his RPK. Doesn't have any more ammo on his Banshee, so we'll switch to his RPK. It's not a compact weapon, so this will take his turn. Actually, no, he can switch to his weapon, but he will suffer a -2 to his shooting stat. That's why he's in cover behind that car. And yeah, that's the end of my movement phase. What I will do also is I will deploy my lockdown seeker mine. So it's basically a guided ball, a guided object that is sitting next to my division agent, and when he triggers that, this will move like a grenade. Basically, I need to roll 8 on the throne table, and when it explodes, it releases some riot foam that stick to the enemy feet so they can't move anymore. So right now I will leave this grenade, this lockdown seeker mine next to me, and when some enemies appear, we'll see what we do with that grenade. So that has been deployed, and yeah, that's pretty much it for that turn, for my turn. Now let's check the enemies. The enemies are now alerted. I have four enemy tokens to deal with. I have 1 over here, 1 there, 1 here, and 1 behind the black car. So what I will do is I will unveil all of them in that order. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I will unveil all of them, place the enemy token, place the enemy model, and we'll see after that what they are doing on Disablan Doctrine. So let's check what we have here. 1 civilian. So this one is actually nothing. We have 1 civilian over here. I'm just going to remove it. We already have too much civilian. Next up, level 1 enemy, level 2 enemies on the back, and empties at the dead end behind the car. So here we have a level 1 enemy, and here we have a level 2 enemies. We're just going to remove that last one. On the table, let's check the enemies that we have. So for the level 1, a 3, it's 2 assaulter plus 1 rusher, and on the level 2 it's 3 assaulter plus 1 heavy weapon. So let's place all these enemies on the board and I will show you after what they are doing. So that's the first enemy group that just spawned. 1 assault rifle and 1 carbine, 1 shotgun. And the second enemy group is over here with 1 heavy weapon, 2 pistol and 1 carbine too. And something I forget is that we have 1 enemy sniper on top of that building, and that enemy sniper will be a real dangerous threat, as he will fire onto one of my one of my groups down here, and I completely forget about that enemy. So I'm not in cover at all, and I'm not ready to fire at this guy, so we'll see what ends up here. So first up, I will do the Zablan Doctrine for that group. So taking my dice, taking the Zablan Doctrine table, a 1 and a 1, rush, move, and if line of sight, shoot. And rush is as flank. So basically, they will rush that team over here. And yeah, it's rush. As flank, but shortest pass toward the enemy. Flank, indirect pass, move around terrain or cover, if no line of sight, enemy sprint. So basically, what they are going to do is move toward the enemy. And let's say they still want to maybe have a bit of cover. So where is my ruler? Let me grab the ruler and let me place the enemy. So here I just moved that enemy group. This one will benefit from +2 in cover because he's behind sandbag. That one wanted to stick behind the truck, but he not really a great cover. He will be in cover from this group over here, but not from that guy. And this one with the shotgun, a specific archetype, like the rusher, is just rushing, is moving, then running, and after that he can also shoot with his shotgun, so a pretty important threat that I will try to deal with. So that's it for them. Now moving on to the second enemy group over here. 4 and a 4, 4 and a 4, it's a reckless, move and shoot, reckless, maximum of movement, disregard cover. So if they want to attack me, the best bet will be to move toward here, so they can engage my group over here. So that's what I'm going to do with that enemy group. So that's it for their movement. They move just to engage my team over here. And actually, the drone doesn't have any line of sight on them anymore, so that's a pretty bad move for the drone. Maybe we'll be able to engage that sniper, actually. So we'll see. So yeah, that's the end of the movement and tactical action. Yeah, we can now jump onto the combat phase. Since it's the last combat, it's the last 2 enemy pods that are on the board, I'm going to film, I'm going to try to film everything. So first thing I'm going to do is take care of that enemy. For that I'm going to fire with my Division Agent. Division Agent, he's Ryan Marquez, he's equipped with a PP2000. He can actually switch to his stoner, to his LMG, because it has the compact rule. He can switch without any down sight. So he will actually do that. He will fire in automatic. He moved that turn, so he can't fire in sustained fire. So he's switching to the stoner 99 CAC, firing 3 shots, 6, 2, and 2. He have a shooting stat of 4, -1 because of the automatic, so that's a 3. So here we have a 9, and the enemy can't beat the 9. Here we have 4, 5, 6. So here we have 2, 6. Rolling defense on the first 6. Oh, that's a 6 plus 1 in defense by default for the Rioter. That's a 7, so he beats that. Rolling defense on that one. 5 plus 1, 6. And yeah, that's... he also... Actually, I have a grip that allow me to... Yep, focus. Grip Reroll one die when automatic fire. So actually I will reroll that die. Oh, it's even worse. So the 2-shot miss, only 1 shot touch him, checking lethality, lethal on a 4+. Oh, it's lethal, perfect. So the first shot, oh, sorry for the focal, the first shot kill him, he is down. Now my SWAT guy over here will fire at that enemy behind the truck. So just that, he fire in automatic, he only have 3 bullets left in the stoner. So now Jim Street, he's here, he reloaded, he didn't reload his AKM, he is at 3 ammo. He will fire 2 shots, rapid fire, a 6 and a 1. You have a shooting stat of 5 minus 1 because of the rapid fire, that's a 4. So the first one is a 10, the second one is a 5. So the enemy can't beat the 10, but it can beat the 5. And it doesn't, so the first shot touch him, the second shot kill him. So that second enemy here is killed. So now for the third one, I will fire with my civilian over here on top of the shoulder of my division agent. So it's Francis Valenzuela that have a pretty bad shooting stat. But anyway, he will try. He only have 2 bullets left in his weapon. That means that when he will do a rapid fire, no bullet left. So a 3 and a 2, not really good. -1 because of the rapid fire, that remove basically his shooting stat. But you have +1 because of this holographic sight, and +1 because of the laser sight. And he can reroll 1 die when auto or sustain, when rapid fire. So actually I will reroll that second die. Oh, perfect. Then I was lucky on that one. So that's a 5, 6, 7. That's a 7, and that's a 5. Rolling defense on the 7. Oh, the enemy actually beat that one. Rolling defense on the 5. 1 + 1, the base defense of the rioters, and also +2 because he's behind some sandbags. That's a 4. So the enemy also beat that. That means that yeah, he missed all his shots. That's a pretty bad news. That's a really bad news. Okay, so that's the end of the combat phase for that area. My guy over here is not in a position to fire at that enemy, which is too bad. I still have my drone that may fire at him. Oh, but I still have the sniper, which is also really dangerous. Actually, what I think I will do, I will fire with my drone at that enemy. So let me check the range on the drone, because I know it's pretty far. So my drone is over here, the enemy is over there, it's 17 inches. My drone range is normally 8 inch. That means I will get a -2 to shooting. He fire with a shooting stat of 2, and actually he will fire in automatic 3 shots at -1. So let's do the shot first. 3 shots. 6, 3, and 2. With a shooting stat of 2, but -2 because of the distance, so it's basically just that. It's a 6, a 2, a 3, and a 2. Then rolling defense now. On the 6, ooh, the first shot touched him. Rolling defense on the 3. The second shot missed. Rolling defense on the 2. The second shot missed too. So now checking lethality. It's lethal on, checking here, it's lethal on a 5+. So lethality. It's not lethal, checking casualty. It's a 3. So it's not a really big wound. Casualty, it's a 3, medium wound. The model is stunned for 2 turns and suffer -2 to their stat. He can only fire a sidearm. Oh, actually that's great, because he doesn't have any sidearm. He's just equipped with a carbine. Trying to focus. He's just equipped with a carbine. That means he won't be able to fire that turn. He will just be able to move and enter melee combat with my group on the next turn. So that's actually quite good. So now let's jump onto the combat phase for this area over here. So that will be also problematic because I only have 3 people ready to shoot and I have 4 enemies to deal with. So yeah, that will be hard. So first off, let me fire with my civilian guy on the back. He will fire at the most dangerous threat, which is that guy with the LMG. So he is over here. He is equipped with the Springfield Armory M1A, but he also have that HK UMP. Can switch to the UMP if you want because it has the compact rule. And actually I will do that. I will switch to the UMP. It's within 10 inch, so no malus. So 3 shots in automatic, oh perfect. 3-5. You have a shooting stat of 3. +1 because of the EOTech. -1 because of the automatic fire. So that basically so that's basically 3-8. The enemy can't beat that. So this enemy is killed immediately. Cool. Next, this is where, and I remove it. This is where a grenade launcher would have been really handy, but I finally decided to switch the grenade launcher to a silence weapon for Ryan Marquez, so yeah, I don't have one. Ah, damn it. So what I can do... Yeah, let me put some thoughts. So I was just trying to look at some of the ability that I have on some of my characters to see if it can help me in that situation, and actually not really. So what I'm going to do is first, Jim Hopper will fire 1 bullet with his Mossberg. It's not within the first range interval, so it will be a tough shot. He is firing. Actually, let me check if it's not within the first. He's firing over the shoulder. It's from the tip of the end of the shotgun. It's actually within 6 inches. So it's a tough decision. He's just firing on top of the shoulder of the division agent at that first enemy. So yeah, let's say he's actually within 6 inches. So he's firing with a shooting stat of, how much? I don't remember. He's firing with a shooting stat of 4. +4, that's an 8. +1 because of the compat, that's a 9. Okay, so that's a 9. -2 because the enemy is in a pretty good defensive position behind the car. So that's 9. So that's a 7. So the enemy can beat that on a 6, and it doesn't. Now let's check lethality. Lethal on a 6. That's perfect. So the shot kill him. So this enemy is killed by the shotgun. That means that now Doug Sutton over here can fire at the second most dangerous threat, which is that guy with the carbine. So Doug, he won't fire with his Ruger Mark IV. Now we will switch to the Barrett. Since he switched that turn to the Barrett, he will actually have -3 on his shooting stat. So that's pretty bad. But yeah, that's the game. Red dot sight, 4x scoped grip. Oh, I don't have. Yeah, it's a battle rifle. It's not a carbine. I don't have the rapid fire rule on that one. So we'll fire a single shot. 2, not that great. To reroll 1 die in first range interval. So I can reroll that one. Actually, I will reroll that one. Even worse, oh my god. So basically we have 6, 7, +1 because of the red dot sight of the weapon. That's an 8. -3. So that's a 5. That's a 5. Now checking defense. Oh, the enemy beat that. That's... Oof. Okay, so I missed the shot with my division agent. That's really bad. So I have... I have quite a lot of enemy standing still. So that's... yeah, that's pretty dangerous. So yeah, that's the end of my combat phase. Nothing else that I can do that turn. Now let's go to the enemy combat phase. Yeah, enemy combat phase. For the enemy combat phase, I will start with that enemy with the carabine that will fire at the enemy that just fired at him, which is my division agent, Dog, over here. So let's move over here. On a 1, 2, 3, he will do a standard fire, and on a 4, 5, 6, a rapid fire, so 2 bullets. Oh, a 6 and a 2, that's dangerous. So he's firing with a shooting stat of 2. -1 because of the rapid fire, so that's basically a 1. So here we have a 7 and a 3. Rolling defense on the 7. I don't beat that one. Rolling defense on the 3. And I beat that one. So now I have did that bullet that hits me. I have body armor -1 to lethality roll. It's lethal on a 4+. Normally it's lethal on a 4+, so in that case it's lethal on a 5+. So it's not lethal. Checking casualty. Oh, oops. Okay, bro. So that's a pretty serious wound. Where are the wounds? It's actually there. 5 serious wound. The model is injured and begins to bleed out and will die in 5 turns. Okay, 5 turns. May continue to fire sidearm. May crawl up to 2 inches. Okay, I am really severely wounded. Oh no, like, come on, it was the first mission of that division agent and he just got received a 3 serious wound. Actually, this was his grenade, so let's say that this is actually the wounding marker. He's going to die in 5 turns if no one comes to rescue him. Just going to leave that dice. Oh, damn it. Okay, so that's it. Now, this enemy with the pistol, he will fire at my police officer. Yeah, let's check what will happen here. 1, 2, 3 standard fire, so it's a standard fire. A 4, checking defense. A 5, the defense is passed. That means that this bullet doesn't hit me. Okay. We still have one enemy that needs to fire, which is the sniper, which is located on top of the building. So let's actually check roughly his line of sight. So let's say that she is bending up, she's just looking on top, so she can either fire at the police officer just beneath her or the guys on the left. So 1, 2, 3, she will fire at the police officer on the right, and on a 4, 5, 6 at the group on the left. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, it's the police officer, it's Hopper. So let me pull up a sniper card to see the stat. So that's a sniper card. So she will do a standard fire. A 2, okay, I might be lucky here. A 2 plus 2 in shooting, that's a 4. Plus 1 because she's in a high position, that's a 5. I'm not missing anything? No, that's a 5. Rolling defense for Hopper. Okay, perfect, a 5. So she missed her shot. She missed her shot. So yeah, that's the end of that turn. Hopper has been fired at him twice by that guy and by the sniper, and all of them missed their shots, so I'm a bit lucky for Hopper. So yeah, that's it. Now let's jump on to the next turn. Next turn, end of my movement phase. Those two guys here take a good firing position at the sniper, and here those 3 guys move toward the group here on the left. Louis Alexander here enter Overwatch. So now let's check what the enemy group will do. Same thing on the Zablan Doctrine. a 4 and a 4, reckless, move and shoot. Reckless, it's maximum movement, disregard cover. So they will basically just move toward me. So that will trigger the Overwatch from that model. So he will fire at the first enemy equipped with the pistol. So here we have with Alexander, he will fire with his UMP. He will fire one shot. Ooh, that's terrible. 1 plus 3, that's a 4, plus Diotech, that's a 5, but -1 because of the Overwatch, that's a 4. Rolling defense. Okay, the defense is pass, he missed his shot. So that's the end of the movement. Let's now jump onto the combat phase. The first thing I'm going to do is fire with my 2 guys at the sniper over here. So first up, Doug Sutton over here, he will fire 3 shots with his CAC LMG. The last 3 shots actually. Yeah, he will fire 3 shots with the LMG. Okay, 5, 4, and 1. So that's pretty good. The sniper is in a pretty good firing position, so that's probably minus 2, -3. Let's say it's a -3. So Ryan Marquez is firing with a shooting stat of 4. -1 because of automatic, -3 because of the enemy being in a really good position. So I can basically ignore the shooting stat and just take that. So a 5, 4, and a 1. It's within the first range interval. The compact will give me a +1. So it's a 6, 5, and a 2. Rolling defense on the 6. I touch him with the first one, rolling defense on the 5. I kill her with the second shot. Damn, that's perfect. Okay, so here, my guy over here managed to kill that sniper. Okay, perfect. So she is killed. Yeah, that's it for that. Now, on going back to the ground floor over here, I will take Hopper that will fire his last shotgun shot onto the guy with the carbine. Like almost point blank, he will fire his last shot. A 3 plus shooting stat of 4, that's a 7, plus 1 because of the compact, that's an 8. The enemy can't beat that. And he is not, let's check lethality, lethal on a 3 plus, and a 6, bam, he's killed. So that enemy is killed. So now what else? We have those 2 guys over here that will fire at the last enemy. I will first start with Alex Murphy with his RPK. He will fire 3 shots in automatic at -1. So 4, 4, and a 3. You have a shooting stat of 3, -1 because of the automatic fire. So that's a 2. So here we have 2 6 plus a 5. Rolling defense on the 6. So this actually miss. Rolling defense on the second one. This touch the enemy. And here we have what again? 3, 4, 5. That's a 5. And this one doesn't hit him. Checking lethality, it's lethal on a 4 plus. It's not lethal. It's not lethal. He's injured. What kind of injury? A pretty serious wound. So it's a catastrophic wound. The model is instantly unconscious, so it's almost like he is killed. So this guy is down. So that's it. That's it. I've killed all the enemies on the board. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of that mission. On the next turn, what I'm going to do is to send someone to stop the bleed out of my agent of the division. After that, I'm going to loot all the dead bodies that we have laying around. And yeah, let's actually count how many enemies. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 13 enemies to loot over here. So I'm just going to loot all those enemies. And after that, I'm going to take the 3 vehicles and escape the board And that's, yeah, pretty much the end of the mission. Let me actually just do the roll for the 13 enemy. So let's do 6 first. I found 3 weapons. So I will show you that right after. So that's for the first 6. Now for the last 7, a 5, and that's it. And for those 2, 5. For those 2, 5, actually I got a 6 on one of them. That means that this is a superior weapon. Okay, so that's cool. Where can I place that? So here is what I got. I have 2 pistols, a SIG P320, 2 SIG P320, a TMP9, and also a SVD Dragunov, which is pretty nice. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of that mission. Thank you everyone for joining me for this new mission, and I will see you guys for the next one. Bye everyone!